Hello, welcome to our Advent devotional for this morning. We are looking at the book of Isaiah and Isaiah's foretelling of the birth of Jesus throughout this Advent time. I have so loved camping out in this book, preparing to preach in this season, and I have learned so much. The book of Isaiah is both a book of warning, of judgment, and also a book of prophecy that foretells and forthtells the coming of Christ Jesus. And it is not a chronological book, it's written in a poetic way over a long span of time, and it draws into the narrative of the whole of the Old Testament, or much of it, going right back to Genesis, 1st and 2nd Kings, Samuel, 1st and 2nd Samuel. So today, for today's reading, I'm going to draw you to Isaiah chapter 9, that many of you will be familiar with, and also we are going to go to 2nd Samuel chapter 7 as the two link together. So reading first Isaiah chapter 9. The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of darkness, a light has dawned. The prophet continues, For unto us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. This is a beautiful description of who our God is, Emmanuel, Christ Jesus, part of the detailed foretelling of the birth of Jesus. But for the listeners of the day, they would have also recognized that this linked back to a prophecy heard by King David in 2 Samuel chapter 7. The context is that David is preparing to create a temple to house the Lord. And the narrative is along these lines where God speaks to David and says, I don't need for you to build me a house. I want you to listen to what I am going to do for you. He goes on to tell him, this is what the Lord establishes for you. I will build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of this kingdom forever. Speaking of his son, Jesus. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. When he does wrong, I will punish him with the rod of men, with floggings inflicted by men. Speaking of the suffering and sacrifice of Jesus. But my love will never be taken away from him, as I took it away from Saul, whom I removed before you. Your house and your kingdom shall endure forever and ever. Nathan reported to David all the words of his revelation. It's interesting, as he hears the prophet's description of the forthcoming king and his kingdom, this kingdom of light and hope and power that will be established like no other, the perfect king and yet the humble, suffering king. David has one response. How great are you, O sovereign Lord? There is no one like you, reading from verse 22 in 2 Samuel 7. And there is no God but you, as we have heard with our own ears. I'd love to encourage you this Advent season to just pause and come to that same place of David. How great is the hope and the light that breaks into the darkness that belongs to our God. There is no one, no situation, no nation, no past time, no future time beyond his light and hope. We welcome the glory of Jesus in our midst.